Open your eyes, look in the skies, we bout to make it divide. I came with a tribe, I'm ready to, they want me dead or alive, yeah. Somebody warn them, this is the future. I pulled up in a DeLorean. Yeah, I know you know just how the whole story is. It's legendary, I need a historian. Yeah. This how you start up a riot. If you don't believe it, then try us. We throwing shots at Goliath. We never break, we just break up the silence. Yeah, here ain't no way to avoid. We on a mission, go seek and destroy. Suited and booted, I came with the boys. Oh yeah, you know that it's on. Now it's time. It's pandemonium.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Electrix Moto. Today we are going to be going over our first shop build and everything that we've done on this E-Ride Pro 2.0. We're going to talk about the parts that are on it, we're going to talk about the plans for the parts that we're going to put on it, and we're going to talk about why we chose the 2.0 as our first shop bike and what you can expect out of this build. All right, so first things first, if you're new here, you probably don't know this spiel. If you've been here for a while, then you probably do. There is a set of things that we do to every single bike, whether it's ours or a suggestion to a customer of what they should probably do to theirs right when they get it. And that is the Warp 9 bar mount, the bars from Warp 9, a Warp 9 stem lock, 1-inch drop brackets for your foot pegs, Warp 9 foot pegs, and a gut seat cover. Now, you don't necessarily have to get Warp 9. You could really get whatever combination of products you want, though that's just the company that carries all of these products. And the reason that we do those is it sits you upright on the bike just a little bit more with the handlebars and the bar mount. It drops your feet a little bit down, an inch down to the ground, so it just gives you a better riding position. The gut seat cover, that's just because it's more comfortable and it's easier to grip with your knees. So those are kind of the items that we do right out of the box, and that's what we did to this bike. We went with the blue and magnesium for this build, which I think came out really, really good. There are a lot more things that we're going to do to this bike, but this is a good base for anybody who's looking to get into a bike. All right, now for the tires on this bike, before we get into the wheels, I wanted to mention that we went with a different wheel or a tire than we've ever went with before, as well as a different wheel, but we went with the Pivotrax tire. Now the Pivotrax tire, they're starting to make a lot of products specific for the E-moto market, and this is going to be the first time we've ran them, but in comparison to your Dunlop MX33s or 34s, they seem to look and feel very similar. So we're excited that Pivotrax has kind of come on board to help us with this build, and we are running a 70-119 on the front and a 90-116 on the rear. Those wheels are wrapped around the brand new release from KKE with Excel wheels and the KKE hubs. These blues go together perfect from KKE and Excel. Compared to the Warp 9 stuff, all the blues are matching. And I know that sounds stupid, but it's a huge pet peeve of mine. If the colors are just off a little bit, I think everything needs to be kind of perfect, but that's just my personal opinion. But the Excel has been making motorcycle wheels and motorcycle rims for a long time. And when we saw at the AIM Expo that they were going to start making wheels for the Surons, the Talarias, the E-Ride Pros, we knew we had to do these wheels when we did our next build. And here we are with our next build, and I can tell you that these wheels look unbelievable. Now let's talk about why the 2.0 over the 3.0 over the SR over other bikes. Well, truthfully, we're also doing a 3.0 build, so that one's kind of already slated, and we're going to do that. But for the 2.0 over the SR, in my opinion, the 2.0 is the most well-balanced entry E-moto that you can get. And the reason I say that is because the aftermarket support is plentiful. It has enough power at 12 kilowatts that you really don't need to add additional power. Now, if you wanted to add an EBMX controller, you could take the 12 kilowatts up to 15 kilowatts, still keep the same battery, still keep the same motor, and you won't have any issues with the power that you wanted. Now you can have it. So for us, it's just the bike that makes the most sense. And I'm really excited about the 2.0 platform because, quite honestly, we ride the heck out of our 2.0s, the ones that we just take on trails, and they hold up really, really well. And I think that's an important piece of this. Now, the 3.0 build that we're going to do is because I think that's number 2 in line from E-Ride Pros. I do not like the SR. I think it has too much power. You're putting too much power to the ground. It's really hard to control. And for us, I would prefer to step up to a big frame motorcycle and go with a Suron Ultra B or a Stark Varg if I'm going to have that much power at the rear wheel. I personally don't like small frame, big power bikes. I think they're hard to control, and quite honestly, just really not that fun with how much torque they have. So the E-Ride 2.0 is, for me, the most well-balanced bike. And if you're looking to get into a new bike and it's going to be your first bike, I would strongly consider you take a look at the 2.0 over all the other options out there. So what's next for this build? This is obviously not where we're going to stop. I mentioned the eBMX controller. We are going to be putting an eBMX controller on this bike because going from 12 to 15 kilowatts is a big deal, and it will make this bike more playful. Once you put that big of tires on it, you're obviously weighing it down some, so you kind of need to come back and get a little bit more power out of the bike. So that's what we're going to do there. Now, the suspension is a total toss-up. We are kind of caught in between the Arfloxa, which is a little bit stiffer, a little bit more rigid of a suspension, versus the Nibby kit that we have on our Ventus 1. The Nibby is a much more plush feeling suspension, so it will be one of those two that we put on, but I will make sure to update you guys once we get there. We haven't even taken this bike on a trail yet. Honestly, I don't want to get it dirty because it just looks so good in its current form. But the next video, we're going to take this thing out and we're going to see how everything performs in its current setup. We have never filmed a video about a 2.0 in its current configuration with new wheels, tires, and all the things that we recommend. We've only done that on the 3.0, so it will be fun to see how this bike performs on the trail. So if you guys have any questions or you would like to purchase any of these products, I will put a link in the description for everything you see, including the bike. You can use a discount code EM5 at checkout to save 5% on anything you buy from Electrix Moto, and we will see you guys on the next one.